fun. We are going to introduce right now the new special teams coach at the University of Hawaii, Michael Ghobrial. Michael, this would seem like a fairly large challenge. Could you come in, and I'm assuming you're instituting pretty much new systems. First of all, this is the complaint I've heard all my life from special teams guys. There's not enough time. I don't get enough time to. Are they giving you some time to get stuff in?
No, they definitely have. Coach Rolovich has been awesome in terms of that because he understands that, me being a new guy, you definitely do want to introduce all your special team schematics. But spring ball is really more so about, discovering what you have and finding out their strengths, finding out their challenges and figuring out what we can do best. So that's kind of been my mission this spring ball, more so than to fully introduce everything that we're doing on special teams, is discover what we are.
In terms of getting personnel, how do you just say you, and you, or do you kind of say, hey, Tom Sawyer, paint my fence. Who wants to play special teams?
No, it's been awesome. Whenever I came into the University of Hawaii, the first thing that I wanted to do was instill the culture that we're going to have on special teams, and a lot of it revolves around what already Coach Rolovich has done here. So to have the backing, the buy-in by these players, and their willingness just showing up in drills and going full speed, giving great effort has been awesome. So it hasn't been like challenging these guys like, why don't you want to join? Everybody's been part of it because they understand that this phase of the game will help us win games. So to have that has been great.
And Rolo's open to guys, and probably doesn't want his starting quarterback going down on punt team, but open to letting some of the starters participate.
Oh, no question. A lot of these guys have aspirations to play on the next level, and and I had the opportunity to coach at the next level for a little bit, and understanding that with a smaller roster, a lot of those guys are asked to play special teams, and that is an important part of the game. You're dealing with field position in every phase of the game. You're dealing with putting on points, taking off points. So everybody understands that, and all these guys have aspirations to do things at the highest level. So they understand if you're a starter on defense or a starter on offense, they're ready to go and ready to play on special teams. And vice versa. It doesn't mean they get to play special teams. What we do here is very competitive. So we have guys like Jelani Tavai, who has obviously played at a high level here for a while, but he's challenging himself to find out what unit he could have a role on, which is awesome to see guys like that.
Sure. When you get that, it kind of filters down. I think if they see guys like who are as enmeshed in this deal as Jelani wanting to play special teams, I can't imagine that if you're new here, you're thinking, hey, maybe this is my way to get on the field.
Yeah, no question. And that's what just raises the competitiveness by everybody on this field is, guys are constantly trying to beat out the next guy, but at the same time being great teammates and really taxing each other to get the most out of what they can do.
Let me get to one philosophical thing before we go further, since you have also toiled in the NFL. There are a lot of people that are suggesting that sometime in our lifetimes that there's going to be an elimination of a kickoff. Do you think that's likely? Can you imagine a scenario in which the decision is made that, hey, way too many of the injuries happen on kickoffs, we're going to find another way?
It's something that, I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about it. It's just something that's hard to believe they would get rid of just because it's been rooted in the game of football, not only since I've been around, since, many
forever.
Yeah, forever. So to get rid of something like that is hard to believe. It's just the nature of the game of football it's a violent game. And, that's what makes this game so special sometimes. Yeah. Because when your back's against the wall, what are you going to do? And yes, there are injuries on kickoff, but there's injuries on offense and defensive plays too. There's injuries just coming out of the tunnel sometimes in warm-ups. So, it's something that I understand. They're trying to find safer ways to do things. But like I said, it'd be hard to believe that they could get rid of something that is rooted in this game.
Okay, getting back to what you have to work with here, when you're looking, for example, for kickoff returners or a punt returner and trying to figure out who's going to be your guy, let's start with punt return. What do you value most in a return guy that's going to handle punts?
The number one thing is owning the football. Being able to field that football is the most critical thing that any returner could do, whether it's kickoff return or punt return. Because this game, one of the most telling statistics is turnover margin. So to make certain that you control that ball, own it by all means is big. aside from that, moving forward, if a guy can own the football, then he's filtered himself as one of the guys that I would consider. And if he can do that, the next thing that I guess would filter him would be, what he does when the ball's in his hands.
Sure.
You on punt return, you want a guy that, has the ability to make guys miss, is courageous enough to understand that you're going to catch a ball that's been in the air for about 4 seconds, and there's going to be guys humming downfield trying to tackle you. So to make smart decisions, to be able to make guys miss and understand, just have a feel for natural holes that happen when you're setting up a return schematic.
Have you gotten to the point where you're already starting to look at – I imagine even when you are not in a special teams period, you're watching how guys handle, how their hands are for him. Do they have soft hands? Do they look the ball in? Those are the kind of guys – do you start there?
Yes. Oh, yeah, 100%. So, what's been awesome is just being able to, focus on the specialists has been great because I've been able to develop their talent, find out what they can do. But in addition, when we're off the field, I sit on these offensive and defensive meetings, and I'm able to watch practice just like I've been at practice with the O&D. Sure. So it gives me a great indicator of what guys can do, how guys move, and not to mention a lot of these guys are integrated in our special teams drills, so that helps as well. But to see guys how they respond in offensive defensive plays, I can see in those meetings. Let
me get to the kickers that you have to deal with. We've had guys, NFL guys. We have Rigoberto Sanchez from a couple of years ago, the punters with the Colts. We have had Jason Elam was a kicker here. There have been some really, really good ones, and I'm just curious. I'm running short of time. Are you happy with the talent pool that you have for kicker and punter?
I am 100% happy with their intent, and that's the only thing I could ask these guys to do is be the best individuals that they can be. And they've obviously adopted a quick style really fairly fast for me getting here, and their intent in wanting to get better and challenging themselves to use these new techniques, which will pay dividends, has been awesome. So, I'm completely happy with their intent to want to get better.
Michael, so nice to have you on with us. Hopefully we'll get a chance to visit as we get closer to the season.
No doubt. I appreciate your time.
Thanks so much.